What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. For this video I have a brand new camera comparison between the Huawei P30 Pro and the Huawei P40 Pro. Now the Huawei P30 Pro is over a year old at this time, and you can find this one for about $500 to $600, so pretty inexpensive. Now I've done a similar camera comparison back when the Huawei P40 Pro was first released, but back then this device was running pre-release software. So that wasn't exactly a fair comparison, and since then both devices got a bunch of updates. So I figured I'll show you some pictures and videos so you can see how they actually look today after all those software updates. As always, I'm gonna show you a bunch of daytime pictures. I'm gonna include some portrait mode pictures. I have some 5 times zoom and 10 times zoom. I have pictures taken with the ultra wide lenses. We have night pictures using the night mode. We have some sample daytime and nighttime videos and much more. And with that being said, I think we should start by checking out some daytime pictures and more specifically some portrait mode pictures. Now, just in case you're wondering, all the pictures were taken on auto mode and about a second apart from each other, and the AI was also turned on for both devices. And with that being said, let's start by checking out some portrait mode pictures. Alright, so taking a closer look at the portrait mode pictures that I took, well, first of all, I've noticed that the edge detection is very similar between the P30 Pro and the P40 Pro, and both devices seem to make the exact same mistake. So if you look at the portrait mode pictures of myself, you're gonna notice that the frames for my glasses don't actually show up in those pictures. And it's the same mistake on the P30 Pro and the P40 Pro. Other than that, everything else seems to be the same related to the edge detection. Now, color-wise, I find that the Huawei P40 Pro has the more saturated colors, and if you look back at the first video that I made, well, that wasn't exactly the case. The portrait mode pictures taken by the P40 Pro in the previous video weren't as saturated as now. But I think that I prefer the ones taken by the P40 Pro because the subject always looks a bit better in those pictures. But definitely check out the pictures that you're seeing, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Next, we're moving on to 5 times zoom pictures. So both devices have 5 times optical zoom, and sharpness wise the pictures do look fairly similar. I can't really see that much of a difference in between the pictures that I took with the P30 Pro or the P40 Pro. But if you look close enough at those pictures, you're gonna see that the pictures taken by the Huawei P40 Pro have a more bluish tint. So personally, I prefer the 5 times zoom pictures taken by the P30 Pro. But once again, look at these pictures and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Moving on to 10 times zoom. So the 10 times zoom is basically a combination of optical zoom and electronic zoom. And here I find that most pictures taken by the Huawei P40 Pro are a bit sharper. So overall, the 10 times zoom pictures are better from the P40 Pro in my opinion. But what do you guys think? And we are moving on to pictures taken with the ultra-wide lenses on the back of these two devices. So the first thing you're going to notice here is the fact that the Huawei P30 Pro has a wider field of view. So if you like those wider looking pictures, you're probably going to prefer the pictures taken by the P30 Pro. Now, me personally, I prefer the colors from the P40 Pro for all those pictures taken with the ultra-wide lens because they look a bit closer to reality. Once again, they are more saturated than they were back when this device was released. So if you look back at the other video, the pictures didn't look as saturated as now. So now they do look a bit more saturated. So personally, I prefer the pictures taken by the P40 Pro for the ultra-wide lens because they don't look as wide. As for pictures taken with the main lens, well, there isn't that much of a difference. Here both devices do really good, but for dynamic range, it almost feels like that the Huawei P30 Pro does better in some situations. Maybe it's just me, but yes, I do prefer some of the pictures taken by the P30 Pro over the ones taken by the P40 Pro for the main lens. So once again, I'm gonna let you guys finish watching these pictures, and definitely let me know in the comments down below what you think about these cameras for daytime pictures. So those are all the pictures that I have for daytime pictures, and next we are moving on to nighttime pictures. And for nighttime pictures I use the night mode for all the pictures, and we are starting with the pictures taken by the ultra wide lenses on the back of these two devices. Now here for pictures taken with the ultra wide lens there is no comparison. The Huawei P40 Pro does better in every single picture. All the pictures are sharper, the image is brighter, so everything is better from the Huawei P40 Pro for the pictures taken with the ultra-wide lens. Now, funny enough, when we move to pictures taken with the main lenses on the back of these two devices, I find pretty much every single picture taken by the Huawei P30 Pro better. First of all, they are sharper, they have better colors, and they are also brighter. So the Huawei P30 Pro does better with the main lens, where the Huawei P40 Pro does better with the ultra-wide lens when using the night mode and taking pictures in low light. But what do you guys think? Which one do you prefer for nighttime pictures? Next we are moving on to video recordings, and the biggest difference for video recordings has to do with the front-facing camera. So the P40 Pro you can do 4K with the front-facing camera, where with the P30 Pro you can only do 1080p. Now for sound quality I feel that the P40 Pro does better for all those videos that you're about to see. As for the rear lenses, if you're recording with the ultra-wide lens on the back of the P40 Pro, I do prefer those videos. The colors are a bit better, the videos are also sharper, and the image stabilization is better. But if you're recording with the main lenses on the back of these two devices, well, I can almost say that the P30 Pro does a bit better. So once again, the P40 Pro will do better with the ultra-wide lens. As for nighttime recording, once again, if you're using the ultra-wide lens on the P40 Pro, the videos will be brighter and, well, you can see way more in them compared to what you can see on the P30 Pro. But the main lens, well, there isn't that big of a difference for that one. So let's check out those recordings and I will be right back. Alright, we have a quick video test with the front-facing cameras on the Huawei P30 Pro and of course the Huawei P40 Pro. Now the main difference for the front-facing cameras is the fact that with the Huawei P40 Pro you can actually record in 4K at 30 frames per second, where with the Huawei P30 Pro you can only do 1080p with the front-facing camera. And that makes a big difference in my opinion for the video quality. I'm gonna turn around and we'll walk this way for a bit. I'll try to walk a bit faster so you can see which device has better image stabilization. So as you can probably see, it is a bit windy out, and you're probably gonna hear some traffic to my left as well. So this is how recording with the front-facing cameras on these two devices would look like under these conditions. We are moving on to a quick recording done with the ultra-wide lenses on the back of the Huawei P30 Pro and of course the Huawei P40 Pro. For this recording I'm doing 4K at 30 frames per second. So I'm gonna walk straight for a bit. I'm gonna stop here, we'll pan left, then back right. And I'm gonna do a bit of running so we can see which device does better for image stabilization while using the ultra-wide lens. And once again, I'm gonna stop somewhere here, we'll pan left slowly. So yeah, this is how recording with the ultra-wide lenses on the back of these two devices in 4K at 30 frames per second would look like. For our next recording I'm using the main lenses on the back of the Huawei P30 Pro and of course the Huawei P40 Pro, and I'm recording in 4K at 30 frames per second. So we're gonna stop here for a bit. I'll go back up and I'll head towards that little house there. But we're gonna stop somewhere around here. We're gonna pan left slowly and up and to the right. So this is how recording in 4K at 30 frames per second would look like between the Huawei P30 Pro and the Huawei P40 Pro. Alright, we have a quick video test in low light between the Huawei P30 Pro and the Huawei P40 Pro. For this recording I'm doing 4K at 30 frames per second, and I'm also using the ultra-wide lenses on the back of these two devices. Now from what I'm seeing on the screens here, the image on the P40 Pro is much brighter than the image that I'm seeing on the P30 Pro, but of course that was to be expected since the P40 Pro is the latest device from Huawei. So this is how recording with the ultra-wide lens in 4K at 30 frames per second would look like between these two devices. I'm gonna stop here for a second and we'll pan right slowly. And back left. So yeah, this is how recording would look like at night. Alright, we're moving on to another quick recording between the P40 Pro and the P30 Pro in low light, as you can see. For this recording, once again, I'm doing 4K 30 frames per second, but I'm using the main lenses on the back of these two devices. So before I used the ultra-wide, now I'm using the main lenses. And I can see that with the main lens, the P30 Pro does much better than with the ultra-wide lens. So I'm walking this way fairly slow. There is a bit of wind and you're probably gonna hear some traffic and maybe some water behind me. We'll walk a bit more. We're gonna stop here for a second. We're gonna pan right slowly and back left. So yeah, this is how a recording at night would look like between the P30 Pro and the P40 Pro if you're recording with the main lens and in 4K at 30 frames per second. And lastly, we're gonna check out some selfies, and I have to say that for selfies I didn't see that big of a difference. I mean, some pictures taken by the P40 Pro are better, but then some pictures taken by the P30 Pro are better, and it goes the same for daytime selfies and nighttime selfies. Now, I find it strange that both devices have a night mode for selfies, but whenever you're using the night mode for selfies, nothing actually happens. So, I don't know, you just take pictures with a front-facing camera without a night mode, even though it says that it has a night mode. So what do you guys think about these two phones? I have to say that I was quite impressed by the Huawei P30 Pro, mostly considering this phone is almost a year and 3 months old, or something like that. So for about $500, this phone does extremely well even today. And it can probably take better pictures than a lot of Samsung devices. So definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Which one do you like for daytime pictures, for nighttime pictures and videos? Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, don't forget to press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.